started, eh?
Are we in? Are we both in? Are me and my boy in? Me and my boy in.
Lad, the episode. What the fuck? Where did that come from?
What is it?
A yawn.
I don't know.
What is it? fair. Like, yeah.
The yawn isn't the thing that threw me off.
Worst thing in the world, right? It's getting late. I'm in bed. I'm doing the routine, watching some videos. And I'm like, fuck, okay, I need to take a piss. I'll do this just before I go to bed.
Yo.
I go into the bathroom. Giant fucking cockroach. Like, just sitting on top of the toilet. And I'm just like, fuck.
You're getting pissed on.
Nah, this thing was like, if I pissed there, like, Flatties would be upset with me.
Right.
But
some Ecuadorian hissing roach.
I can't stand them. They just fuck me off. And like, sometimes when they're smaller,
There's
it's
yuck.
like,
I think I might have used that before.
yeah. I thought we were on. Are we on?
Yeah, we're in.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, like, I sometimes like when they're smaller, it's like, it's just a hindrance. It's like, okay, fucking squash. See you
scurry
later.
into something that looks like it's flat, but it's not.
Yeah, but when they're like bigger, I don't know what it is. Like, I just like freeze. It's like a primal thing in me that I'm just like, these things are fucking disgusting.
They are disgusting.
I can't stand them. Like to the point I'd say it's like nearly like terror. I'm like, God damn it, this
Yes.
like I feel like
Cockroaches are terrorism.
But do you get that at the tiny home? Like any like
bugs?
Yeah.
Any...
Like do you get the like friendly visit? Like,
we get. This was actually my yum this week.
Cockroaches?
No, not cockroaches. With the warmer weather and tin cladding, we are not opposed to a spider web. Like, you've seen the outside of the house where like there's cuts and like where flashings and everything go over each other. We get spider webs, and it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because you're like, oh, creepy crawlies. They like spiders stay out of your way, not too often. Like, they're always just in the corner or something. And
spiders are all good. I'm okay with that.
They stop everything else. So it's like, if I clear all these spider webs off, then that's going to mean more mosquitoes, more flies, more sandflies. But my house at least looks clean.
Yeah.
Just
take the L on that one, I think.
Yeah, well, there's one that's outside, like, it's a nocturnal, I think, just going off my basic understanding of arachnids, I'm assuming it's a native New Zealand tunnel web spider female, actually. And so they clean up their web every day, and then they make a new one every night. And I think she lives in the gutter. And honestly, as you can watch the sun disappear over the horizon, and then you see her come and just like Charlotte's Web, just like
what's it? Incy Bincy.
Yeah, like Incy Bincy.
Is that what this is?
Incy Wincy, man.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I got nieces.
Yeah.
And we see her come out, and then she starts making her bed for the night, I guess.
Oh, it's itty bitty. Sorry,
Incy Wincy.
No, but I get the two like. Two swapped together. Sorry, that was going to irk me otherwise.
Yeah.
So Charlotte's coming out of her web.
Yeah.
Down the downpipe.
Just like off the gutter, and then lands on, like, how we've got the lean-to thing covering the deck. Her first line always goes down to that, and then she climbs up, kind of up the window, and then jumps again, and then she's got like a couple of diagonals that have started, and she's joined it, and now she's got her highway, and then she's got like channel roads.
Damn.
Yeah. And
you got so much time though.
Yeah.
I suppose you just check the progress every morning, like.
No. Oh, they clean it. She does it every night because they clean their webs up in the day.
Really?
Yeah, it's the nature of said spider.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
so
it is.
Why is there cobwebs everywhere then?
Different type of spider.
Yeah.
This isn't no measly like money spider or jumping spider. Yeah. She's like,
they're fucking hard to get rid of.
Kind of thick.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like fat. She's got that fat thorax.
Damn.
Yeah.
Thick thorax.
Yeah. Long legs.
They're real hard to get rid of as well. Like, they're the ones that sit in your wing mirror.
Those suck.
You like blast it with water, and you're like, you're fucked now.
Bro, I think spider webs are potentially like all time. Like, you need like open flame to get rid of them.
Spider webs don't even catch a light.
They just kind of like
They melt away, like wiggle
yeah,
away,
it's like they're I don't know, like a ghost or something. Like they just kind of like "Ooh," and then kind of like shrivel away,
yeah.
but still there. But yeah, I've tried like, multiple.
So no big fucking cockroach coming in the house.
Not really. Like you get the odd one, especially because we have like a little compost bin that we put food scraps in. Like
Yeah.
you might see the odd one hanging around, but not too often.
Yeah. Oh, lucky man.
But if I do see them, it's just
Yeah, you love a good jab on one, eh?
yeah. It's like
I'm there like standing 2 meters away trying to hit it with the toilet brush. You walk up to the thing and jab it.
yeah, because they pop.
Oh,
like-
yeah, that's even worse. I don't even
Yeah.
want to.
To be fair, like the big ones, you do it and then afterwards you're like, oh, yuck, because it's like got a weight to it.
Oh.
It's got its guts hanging out. It's a-hole. Yeah. Episode 89.
What do they even add to the world? Surely, like, if they just exterminated the lot. Would
I
be
don't know. It's
sweet.
like the same with wasps. Like they don't pollinate flowers.
Yeah, they're just cunts.
Apparently wasps do a little bit, and then they do the same as spiders. Of like, they keep the hierarchy of okay, there won't be too many midgies because we're around.
Right.
So that's pretty sweet. I don't know. The animal kingdom. It's all a circle of life. Said Mustafa.
Mufasa?
Yeah, I heard someone call it Mustafa today, and I didn't have the heart to correct them.
Yeah, close
There's
enough.
a reason I was singing Linkin Park earlier.
Why's that?
I thought of you actually.
Oh,
It was I pulled.
you.
I was in my head. I was like, I'm doing an Andy.
Oh,
So you know, yeah.
is this coined? Is this?
Nah. Well,
gonna
I
give
actually
them
just
some
sort of
dirt?
So you know how you were talking about like, I don't know, maybe you were talking about going for a run in the rain. And then
Yeah.
you were like, it's sick because you know that other people aren't doing it, which makes you feel cooler.
Yeah.
When it's like 50 Cent says that he records at like 3 a.m. because he's like, well, I'm making money while people are sleeping type thing.
Yeah.
I swung into my mum's house last night because I used their like home gym kind of thing. And whole fam was there. Mum whips 2 fresh lasagnas out the oven.
I saw her making those.
Oh, yeah.
mean-
Well, you would have.
Yeah, yeah.
She pulls out 2 lasagnas. I said, that sauce from scratch? She goes, you know it. I was like,
Hard to say
be
no.
strong, Jared. You're here for a reason. You're here to exercise. And I went out, and while I heard my whole family tucking into the Italian delicacy, I was out there pushing my limits.
Fuck yeah.
I was hitting a bit of a workout, and it was fucking hot, and I was just dripping with sweat. And then I finished the workout, and I was like, all right, lasagna time. And I was like, nah, hit the treadie. Let's do some sprints before you finish. Let's burn out.
Nice.
And then came in dripping. Could have easily like fanned myself off outside and like discarded the sweaty shirt and everything, but I was like, nah, everyone needs to get eyes on this. And I walked in and
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, wow, you've been working.
Yeah.
You've exercised so hard. And I was like, what, me? What? It's just this.
Yeah.
I'm back on my bullshit. What can I say?
This is a normal day for me.
Yeah, this is pretty much just rudimentary sort of sort of exercise level for me.
Oh yeah, you got to make them see it.
Yeah. And
Make them feel bad for their third helping.
yeah.
Sorry, standards, if you listen.
And then mum was like, all right, should I serve you up from lasagna? I said, please, Mum, I have salad and lamb at home. I said, I'll be tucking into that. I can't let my food go to waste. Eco warrior as well as athlete.
Oh,
And
damn.
she was like, are you sure you don't want lasagna? And I was like, no, I want lasagna.
Oh.
And then
I
I
was about
sat.
to say, like, when did the regret set?
Yeah,
in?
nah.
You get back down to the house.
I
Like,
just needed to like check off my moral compass stuff, and then I was like, all right, I'm a good guy, and then just immediately disregard it, and then do what I actually want to do,
yeah,
which was eat
100%.
my way out of said exercise.
Yeah, I don't think there's many like meals in the world better than like your mum's lasagna. And when I
Everyone's
say
mum's lasagna is
yeah,
great.
that's what I mean. Like when I say your mum's, I mean like your own mother's
Yeah,
listeners
yeah.
make the best.
It is
lasagna.
funny going to someone else's mum's house and they're like, "Bro, my mum's lasagna is the best," and you eat it and you're like, "You don't even know lasagna.
Yeah, you don't even read.
You don't even know. If you think this is bussin', you don't even know lasagna."
Yeah,
This
that's
is
right.
mince and cheese.
No pasta. Yeah. I because I'm the same. I think my mum's is the best that I've ever had. I think there's like other ones I've had are great, but I don't know what it is. I think it's like you grow up with it, right? So like
Yeah, you're accustomed to it.
that's your thing, and then
Yeah.
like different families do different things to it, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Breadcrumbs on the top?
Yeah.
Like,
Whole tomato chunks.
yeah. I don't even know if breadcrumbs go, but you know, you get the idea. Like,
Yeah.
they add little different things to it, and it's like, hell no.
Same can be said for like mac and cheese. Like when some folks make mac and cheese and they're like trying to hide veg in it or something, like a pea in a mac and cheese or something, you're like, it's in the title. It's mac. There's a box of mac in the cupboard and the cheese. We've got cheese from the cow.
How'd you fuck that up?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Just
Not
you
been
and-
a big mac and cheese fan, to be honest.
True.
Like, let me rephrase that. I do enjoy it, and I do like it, but I don't have it often enough for it to become, like, in my top 5. You know what I mean? Or it's not something that's, like,
yeah.
that I had frequently enough growing up where I'd put it, like, high on a pedestal.
Yeah. We had it more growing up, like, when I was a kid. And then as I got older...
We had, our version was it smoked chicken and pasta? So we had, like...
Yeah, like a white sauce pasta dish.
I don't even think
Was
there was
like a
sauce
bake.
in it. But yeah,
Yeah, fuck around with a pasta bake.
Yeah.
Like, what's a...
but that was like our version of like mac and cheese instead. We did
Yeah.
it like that sort of stuff.
We had mac and cheese, but Mum always chucked bacon in it, which is not bad. But then when you have like a nice sloppy mac and cheese, you're like, yo, but not
Yeah.
wet. There is a difference between a wet, watery mac and cheese and then
Is there?
something that is goopy. Or firm. Actually, you know what? You just know it when you got it. When you're like, this is good shit.
Perfect consistency.
This is both mac and
God,
cheese.
this is making me so fucking hungry. Like,
Are you peckish?
the diet right now is like starting to take its toll. There was like a couple weeks there where I started to like slot into like, all right, yeah, this is normal. But I'm like back, gone like flip side the other way.
Yeah.
Now like a week or two now, I'm like sitting there like starving.
Time to mix it up a bit.
Nah, I think like my water intake in the last 2 weeks is like I've dropped off entirely. When I first started like hitting the like diets big time, was like,
Yeah.
yeah, right, here's 3 bottles of water.
What do they say?
to work.
3 weeks without water, 3 weeks without water, 3 days without food, or something until you die.
3 seconds without air. That's not right, but
I said 3 seconds.
yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's part of the water. I think it's part of maybe putting in more exercise sort of thing. So like
Yeah, calories in, calories out.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of like shit going on, but I'm starting to struggle, especially like Sunday, the ribs for UFC, just smelling those, and all the boys like watching UFC, eating the ribs, and I was just like, fuck.
But then could you not just tailor it and be like, sweet, I'll have a couple of ribs and then I'll dose down on the chicken that I have for dinner, and then we can just sub one in, sub one out.
Yeah, I mean I could, but I'm not gonna have it. My dinner would just be broccoli and kumara then. Like it was.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, that's a sad Sunday night.
Plus, there wasn't like too many like, and this is not a like hate on Bev. Like he does awesome ribs, but usually like if we do like a big cook up on a UFC Sunday, there's lots of food.
Yeah.
And so like with just having the ribs, it was like fuck. If there was like a 4th person in there eating,
Yeah.
you would have got like 2 each.
I hit the slow cooker on Sunday. I chucked a lamb leg in there, and now I've just got pulled cooked lamb for like the whole week. So I just chucked that into anything. I just made like a coleslaw and like a tzatziki. Don't know how to say that. And then
I think you nailed it.
Just that in wraps, and that is my food. I had it for breakfast this morning. I went home and had it for lunch. And I just got like a bulk, like giant container full of lamb that I just kind of pick some off, quickly toss it.
That's great and healthy.
Yeah, I know.
That's fucking mean.
Dude, slow cooker cheat code.
Yeah.
If you just need...
I wish I could like cook properly.
Bro, slow cooker takes... Just
Everyone says this. Like,
tip everything into it and put it on low and then go to work and then come back and no matter what, scrumptious.
Mm.
You can't fuck it up.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like why I don't like try new recipes or like do different things. It's just like a
It's not in your nature.
no.
I know exactly why it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't be fucked. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I know this works.
Yeah.
I'll just do that.
This oven for this long cooks these tendies this good. Check.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Did you do good on the week? Did you have fun? Did you do off topic episode 89? I'm with Andy and the closer on the line.
Oi!
And I'm spent.
What did I do? What?
Yeah, what did you do on the weekend?
Fuck, what happened?
I don't know.
Oh, Friday Arvo, I had a leaving drinks at Smells Farm Bars. Don't know if you've been down there.
I've been down there to eat.
Nice little hot spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few honeys out. A few people out for the game. That was just the, as the waitress called it, the Blues versus the Warriors.
Yeah.
At Oniwa Domain. It was Blues versus Chiefs. So there was a good vibe down there. Mates in my football team's leaving for Europe next week.
Yeah.
And had a couple drinks down there. Again, very difficult to sit there. People smashing burgers and chips and pints are flowing. The whole football team's there, and I'm there like sipping water. But we get through it. And then Saturday was just chill one at home.
Nice.
Yeah, very relaxed weekend for me.
You have a big weekend coming up, so
I'm so excited for
locked
this.
and loaded.
What'd you do?
Bro, Saturday. Oh, this was actually going to be my yum this week, but I'll burn it for the sake of the story. So I thought that my lovely fiance had locked me into plans for the weekend, right? Because she had family over from England, and
This weekend?
the weekend just gone, and
real?
she was like, okay, they want to like do stuff, and we kind of got to show them around the city and everything. And I was like, okay,
Classic tour.
yeah. I don't know much about this place, but
Lived here for 28 years.
she was like, what do they like to do? And she was like, they like to hike and they like to drink wine. And I was like, okay. And she was like, yeah, so we'll do like a walk on Saturday, and then on Sunday we'll go to Waiheke and get on the piss. And I was like, yep, okay, done. And
Sick.
so we wake up. Oh, sorry, Friday night. Like it's all sorted, and I was like, okay, no UFC. Kind of that's the weekend. Like I'll have to set this weekend aside. I've got a sick weekend coming up anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I've never met them, and Waiheke's fun anyway. And Friday night, she like messages them to double check, and she was like, just like, are we still on? We've got the ferries booked. They reply and say, oh, no, we're coming in March. And she checked back through the messages, and they had said, we'll be there February or March. And then when she double checked with them, they were like, oh, we're here on this date, so it's like the 20th or something, but didn't state what month. And she had assumed 1 month, and they had assumed the other.
Oh, no.
So we managed to move all the bookings for like a month away. So we're still doing it. It's just in like a month's time. But it just meant that at like 10 o'clock on Friday night, we just realized, oh, we have the whole weekend free, which was sick.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
And then immediately it was like, okay, sweet. Well, I'm going to go watch UFC on Sunday. And then one thing that we did have booked in for us, it was something that I got it for Christmas, was we did an escape room on Saturday afternoon.
Nice.
Which I think is a good little couples test.
I enjoy an escape room.
I thought when I did it, I was like, this is like Andy being an escape room reviewer would be some good content. One, you'd be like into it enough to take it like to genuinely give a heartfelt review of a business. And also you would find a way to scale puzzles into like a numerical kind of like some way to actually grade them, even though they would all be different. You would be able to do that.
Yeah, I think I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love an escape room. I think, I don't know, there's something about it, like, obviously it can be quite gimmicky depending on which ones you do, like,
yeah,
I don't know, it's kind of just to do with
different.
like enjoying like puzzles and different, like, even if
just
like
use your brain.
yeah, think outside the box, like that's sort of thinking is like comparatively to like book smart.
Yeah.
I'm not so book smart. But that sort of shit I love.
Yeah. So we get there, and I had like these predispositions in my head where I was like, okay, sweet as, I'm going to get there. It's going to be a man wearing like an elaborate button down and pants with many pockets on it, and he will spin me some lore about, you know, the gargoyle's got the chest and the clock is ticking. And but I got there, and the one we did was actually Prohibition themed, so I don't know why the gargoyle would have the chest. So it was, the whole thing was we were working out of a speakeasy, and we had been ratted, like a speakeasy, like one of those illegal bars during the Prohibition.
Right.
And they were like, the cops are coming and you got to escape the room kind of thing. And I was like, okay, sweet. But how we got told this was by a no older than 18-year-old girl, that it was easily just her weekend job. And she was like, you're the 4 o'clock booking? We were like, yeah. She walked us into the room and she was like, the cops are coming and you've got an hour. And then just shut the door.
Oh.
And then my like scatterbrain immediately, like, you know, you like take a second to assess the room or whatever. I walked up and I saw a plug on the table and I was like, I want to hit it. So I just hit it, and then I hit it and there was a hole underneath it, and I was like, and then I walked out to the other side and I was like, that's a pretty cool cane. And then I lifted up the cane and then I saw the hole and I was like, that's a cane-sized hole. And then I was like, I'm going to shove it down there and see what happens. Put it down there. Turns out the cane was a magnet and I found a key straight away. Oh. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? We're going to be out of here in 8 minutes.
That's a world record time.
Yeah. And then we immediately grinded to a halt.
Oh, yep.
Where it was like, great, we've got this key. What the hell does it unlock? I don't see a lock anywhere.
Because what can happen, and I'm going to cut you off, like, because you might, like, find something like a puzzle that's, like, 4 steps away.
That's the thing. I don't know if I needed that yet.
Yeah, like,
but I immediately was just like, oh, a hole and a cane.
Yeah.
Whether that cane was a clue or not, still a cool cane.
Because you might have, like, solved a couple puzzles and then, like, find some writing and it tells you about the cane and the key and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then that's when you go to that. So you've just fully like skipped half the puzzles.
But we managed to start getting through it, and myself and the lady, which was funny because the lady said, she was like, if you are really, really stuck, just like make a noise and wave. So I was like, cameras and microphones.
Full Kermit the Frog.
Yeah. She would have just heard us because I kind of like, I got sucked in. So I was like, the whole time we were driving there, I was saying to the lady, I was like, look, if you're in cahoots with them, tell me now. Everything's a clue. And then she was like, Jared, like, she kind of got like pissed off. She's like, for the last time, I'm not in cahoots with them. And I was like, a double agent, huh?
You're like pressing the hazard lights, like,
yeah. And then once we got in there, immediately first thing I do, there was like a set of drawers, so I just ripped out all the drawers and put them on the ground, and we found like a chest with books, and it was like a full volume of Encyclopedia Britannicas. Wow. We were like, read all of them, and just started pulling all the books out, like kind of trashed the room. But we
rips
just
out a page like,
yeah,
I've got it.
Yeah, we got to set this on fire. And my favorite thing would have been,
please stop.
Yeah, well, we found like we found a newspaper that was it had like burn holes in it, and I was like holding it up to something, and I was like, the burn holes give us like, they point out certain
coordinates.
Things. Yeah. But she would have seen me she would have seen me put it on, which would have obviously given the answer, which we had tried, but it turns out we were just reading the numbers in the wrong order. But she would have seen me turn it and then like turn it at like 10 degrees and then slam it against it again, 10 degrees and slam it and just like this, the shit that lady would see would be so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And then she would have heard me at least say 20 times, holding up like an inanimate object, being like, this means something. But it was just nothing.
Oh, it wasn't anything to do with it.
Nah,
oh.
It was just part of the set. And everything was screwed to the walls, and I was like, this isn't how you hang a frame. And I found a bottle opener and started undoing the screws of the frame with the bottle opener. And then you hear like, I heard over the thing, and she was like, you're on the right track with the frame. And we were like, So our last 15 minutes of scrambling was nothing, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, we had something similar. Me and my family went down in, I think, Wellington. and there was like it was like a to do with like you're on a ship and you're finding lost treasure and stuff, and you pull over on this island and you got these navigating charts, and a couple people in my family were like, it's to do with the chart, and they were like, there was numbers and stuff, and going full like got out like pen and pad and was like writing all of these things, and I was just like looking around and like saw a couple symbols. I was like, just press the button. I was like, oh, there it is. You know, like just different. Like they were going way too meticulous into like all of these numbers and everything, and it's like it's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah,
you don't need to unscrew the.
Don't need to start taking apart the set. Yeah. Problem was there was no aircon in there, and it was hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like I'm starting to get delusional. Help me. I need to get out of here. But it made me think like a good idea for a fucking skit would just be someone that goes way too hard at them. And then, because we met up with one of the ladies' mates on...
We have to do this. Yeah. You and I, like, GoPro body cams.
Yeah.
And we'll go into an escape room, but just, like, go overboard. Yeah. I reckon that'll be hilarious.
Ask for the surveillance footage?
Yeah, well, we just got GoPro body cams.
Yeah, true. And like cops.
Yeah. I reckon that'd be hilarious.
We met up with one of Mrs. Mate's during the week, and he was telling us a story about how he had a car crash and the front of his car got dented in, and he was a builder, so he had a saber saw, and he just got out of the car and started shaving his bumper off with the saber saw because he was like, our insurance will cover it. And he was like, the person I crashed into and the cop were like, what the hell are you doing? You can't do that. And he was like, yeah, why not? And everyone was like, I just don't think you can. And he was like, I can do what I want. Yeah. Just imagine that, but in an escape room where you walk in, like you got an hour, and then just 2 minutes later, you just come like stepping through the jib. Yeah. What's my time?
There's like another couple like sitting in the waiting room.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's got nothing to do with the encyclopedias.
A little bit of advice.
Yeah. 30 seconds, not bad.
We have to go in like wearing like helmets and shit.
Yeah. It was funny though, because both myself and the lady are two people that are like, when things are going well, I will stick with it. But as soon as I am not interested anymore, done. Yeah. But we were locked in the fucking room.
Yeah, so there's nothing you can do.
The other thing the other lady would have heard us say was, fuck knows, let's just sit here for an hour. And we sat down on the couch for a second, and then she would have seen me just grab something and go, what does it mean? Pulled the couch cushions off and shit.
She doesn't get paid enough to like care. She's probably just like locked you in there and then like put in her like headphones and just watched videos for an hour.
She was playing League of Legends.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
But like that sort of shit reminds me of, well, not like I've been there, but like in films you see people go to like themed restaurants in America and they're like all real happy and stuff, and like playing the pirate and stuff, and it's like, dude, you get like bare minimum wage.
Yeah.
So I can imagine.
Yeah, she wasn't working for tips.
Yeah.
No.
She's just like,
yeah, the cops are coming and yeah, okay, lady, I'm very clued up with the gist of escape rooms. Why do you have power tools?
Actual cops show up.
Because there was one actual window, and we were like,
is this it?
Maybe that's our only way out.
You don't, yeah. So they come in an hour and you're not even in there. Like,
yeah. Oh, there was one thing, because it was speakeasy theme, but there was one thing that was like runes, and like the lady was like, these runes obviously are part of like these, like each one equals something, and then we can work out like a name or a number, because there was like a thing on the wall with different names, and then they had numbers beside them to how much they'd owed at the bar, and some of the clues were like, oh, old Thomas has had a couple of Tom Collins too many, and then on the menu was like Tom Collins equals this much price, and that guy owes that much, and then put the two together, it's a 4-digit thing. And I was like, no, it's psychological at this point. Runes mean nothing to do with the prohibition. Yeah. Like they're just trying to throw us off.
Yeah, buzzy.
And they 100% just spelt out the answer. And then, because we were trying things, and then in the end, she was like, why don't we just put in exactly what's here and see what happens? And just went doop, 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 and the door just opened. And we were like, huh,
Yeah.
Because for a while
It's-
there, it was kind of like
It
like
is-
an ego check. Because you were like, we came off to this flying start due to my likeness to the cane, but after a while, it was like, well, maybe we're not that smart. And
Nah, it's really easy to get caught up in like overthinking it
yeah,
as well. Like you start to like go like way too far into the depths.
Yeah.
You need to like do exactly what you did at the start and just keep like hey, look at this. Oh, that fits.
yeah,
Like, unfortunately, yeah, like for most of them, you just have to keep that mentality.
yeah. I think we do have to do some sort of skip, but I just can't. Yeah, just smashing through the wall.
I don't even want to like do the skit. I actually want to go just and
Do an
one.
escape room?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be
like we
fun.
can still like film it and do funny shit, but like, I think it'll be fucking like
Yeah.
try find like a real difficult one and like
I'm just picturing like a dude in like a fishing vest and like zip off pants and Solomon like trail shoes.
yeah, we both got
He
backpacks
gets
on,
in there.
helmets, fucking what do they call them, camelbacks,
Yeah.
with a notepad and pen.
Yeah. It's Jared and Andy. You've probably heard of us on the escape room circuit. And we just wheel in like all your DeWalt like tower.
Yeah, we've got the world record in the Hamilton Lockhouse.
All right, first things first, Andy, you know the rule. And then as soon as she shuts the door, we just smash everything, like every pot and vase. Psh, all this wall's fake. Just run knives over the wallpaper and everything. We got to strip this thing down to the bare bones and start from the start.
Oh, I'm there for it.
Yeah. So we did that, and we ended up getting out. We got out with like. She said the lady was
They
like,
give it to you by the end, right?
no, we just got out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Joe, she said you got an hour. Like,
yeah.
the only time was when she saw me forcefully pushing a glass frame against a wall, and she was like, "No, you're on the right track with the other one." And I was like, oh, "Okay,
Yeah.
you want me to stop doing this, don't you?" Because after a while, I was like, "I'm gonna break this," and unscrewing the screws with a cork, like a cork thing. I was like,
Corkscrew.
yeah. And when we got out, she was like, "Oh, bravo, you had 20 minutes left. That's a pretty good time."
Oh,
I'm like,
nice.
thank you. I'm so sweaty. Send me to the Dragon's Lair, which was the next one that they said was a little bit harder. But,
Sounds like Jared and Andy have got a quest.
oh, bro. Have you ever watched the animated Lord of the Rings that came out in the 70s?
No, I haven't.
Neither. Saw a short of it.
Sick. Moving on.
I want to watch it. That was all I had to say.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, it was like the original one. Apparently it's very, very good.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
obviously it's 70s animation, so it's tough. But it's animated in the likes
Are we
of
talking like cartoon animation?
Cartoon.
Or like okay.
yeah, cartoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently it's good, pretty good to the books.
Sick.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that was my Saturday afternoon, and then as soon as I got home, Big Con, cameraman Con, who hasn't been on camera for maybe nearly 6 months.
Slack.
Yeah, what the hell?
Need to fire that guy.
Yeah, he rang me and he was like, "Yep, going past you in 2 minutes, going to the pub, pick you up." And I was like, "Roger that."
I'll rehire him.
Oh, actually, no, before this,
Oh,
I'm driving home.
whoa.
Myself and
I'll sit up
lady.
for this.
Yeah, myself and lady in tow. And not in tow, in passenger seat. She doesn't have to sit in the trailer. And we're on the way home, I was like, sweet. I knew that I was going to be hanging out with Con. I was like, posted beers. So I stopped at the roast shop and I was like, I'll just get some meat and some veggies.
Nice. Roast is good.
Yeah, roast is good. Roast good.
Well, it's like a perfect little pit stop. Like this will do for dinner.
Yeah, it is. And you're like, dude, it's just meat and veg.
Yeah, that's right.
And I get in there and I order, and the dude, you know, no one that works in a roast shop is mean. They're all nice. And he was like, "Oh, you can like, sweet, got my order sorted." And I was just sitting there, left my phone in the car, so I was just raw dogging the poster on the wall, which was a classic fish and chip shop scenario of just breeds of fish.
Raw dogging the poster on the wall. Like
Like it's Christina Applegate or something. Oh,
No, I understand what you mean though. Like, because everyone would just sit there and look on their screens while they eat. You're like,
Yeah.
I had nothing to watch, so the poster. That's
no, I
it.
was just waiting for my food.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just one of those things that was just like snapper, teriyaki, like
Yes,
yeah.
the classic fish and chip shop one.
Yeah. And then this old geezer walks in, slick back hair, looks like maybe like a car salesman with arthritis in his hips. And you know the type. Sleazy. But he walks in humming, and I was like, oh, I judged you too early. But then he opens his mouth, and I was like, oh, I judged correctly. Maybe this speaks more to me as my character. And he said to the guy, he was like, I will, he was like, 1 thigh, 2 potatoes, piece of crackling.
Efficient.
No, please. So first of all, I was like, that's what I said. I was like, okay, I'll give you a benefit of the doubt. You're efficient, but manners are lacking.
Mm.
And the guy's son, you know, like when their son just kind of like curls up in a ball beside the like the FPOS machine, just like on their phones or something like that.
Yeah.
He kind of like came out of his shell and stood up and started writing it down. The dude was like, oh, no, the other guy will help me. He knows what I want. And the other guy that was making my order was like, no, my son can help you. I'm busy. And the guy was like, oh, sorry, what did you want? I should say, the kid that was doing it, English obviously not his first language, right?
Mm.
So he was kind of like, sorry, can you just repeat your order again? The guy's like, it's not that hard.
Oh.
1 thigh, 2 potatoes, piece of crackling. And the kid starts writing it down. He's like, you don't need to write it down. Just put it in the bag. And the other guy that was making my food was like, dude, he's got to write it down because I'm busy at the moment. I'll make yours after. Just give me a second.
Yeah,
Like
he
it'll
might not be the
literally
one
take me
handling the
30 more
food.
seconds.
Fuck.
And the guy looked at me and like huffed, and I was like,
What, like, he
geez,
wasn't getting.
these guys, huh?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I thought you meant more like he's not getting his shit quicker because he's waiting on you. Like looking at you mad that
No,
you
you
were
would have
just
seen me
there.
friggin' with a 1,000-yard stare at a poster. But oh god, who's in this shop?
Thousand Island dressing.
Yeah, but in the end, like they pack his order and they give it to him, and he looks at it and throws it straight back. And he was like,
What?
He was like, it's dry. And they were like, what? He pulls out the bit of crackling, and he was like, it's dry. And the dude was like, that's how people want it.
That's
It's crackling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what do you want? I thought, I was like, do you want like a soggy, flat, like a soggy piece of fat to slurp on, you old friggin' wizard? And
I do like the fat, but if you're getting crackling, you're going for the
yeah, you need
Crack.
you need the top crackling and dusty a little bit.
yeah.
And yeah, he was like, at this point,
Fuck.
he was huffing to me. He was like huffing to them, just like, why doesn't the world understand me?
Jeez.
And the dude, he was like, actually, screw it. Don't give me crackling. Just chuck in another potato. And he grabbed it and he like threw the money on the counter. And the guy tried to give him his change, and he's like, I don't know. He like begrudgingly accepted it. And then I just watched him go and sit in his car and munch down on his chicken like a fat fool. Like he looked like an idiot.
Like, okay,
This guy was gross.
what I don't understand about the story though is that like he looked at the other guy and said, "Oh, he knows what I want," meaning he's been there before, right?
I think it was just, I don't want a kid serving me. I want the guy that is obviously the business owner handling my thing.
Fuck, get off your high horse.
Yeah. Bro, it happens to us all the time at work. We have like a lady office manager, and we have like old geezers that come in for the sheds that we sell, and then they say, oh, I want this and I want this, and she's the first port of call, and because she does like the walk-ins, and they always look over at me or to the old man or something, like they'll help me out, and we're always like, no, she can fucking do what you want, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's her job.
yeah, way to judge there,
And-
buddy.
Yeah, and she's fucking good at it. So
Yeah.
like that's just sexist old
Yeah.
men, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, with this one specifically, but it was funny as once the old fart went out, the dude that like made my food gave me my food and everything, chucked in an extra potato.
of course.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
and naturally, and he was like, "Wow, that guy's really rude." And then like at this point, the lady was in there with me, and she was like, "Yeah, that guy was like, what the hell's his problem?" And then he was like, he actually sells strawberries down the road. And he's like, I should just drive past him and yell out, "Your strawberries are shit!" And I was like, do it.
Go fucking pick a strawberry and say, it's dry.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I want another one.
Yeah, we walked by. When I walked out, I just saw this dude just sitting there with like chicken grease all over his fingers in his car. I was like,
who are
"Dude,
you
you're
to
s-"
act high and mighty and own a fucking strawberry farm? Like,
Yeah, I'm not dissing farmers at all, but
but like,
also, who made you god of roasts?
but I mean, like that's this thing I'm saying is like, most farmers are like nice people.
Yeah, I know.
So like, why?
That's what I mean. This dude had slick back, like pomaded hair.
Why are you coming into a roast shop acting like that when like you're running like a business very similar to yourself, right? Most people come and pick their own and to get food, and
it's very much a blue collar kind of industry.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What a dick. I'm gonna go there and piss on his strawberries.
Yeah, it pissed me off.
Oh wait, no, that'd fuck most other people up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, so sorry if from there, got home, ate my dinner. Connor rung, said, yeah, I'll come pick you up. I'm going to meet my brother Finn down at the pub. Finn and a couple of his mates were down at the pub. We got down there, and this dude comes up to us, right? And, well, he must have already talked to Finn and his mates earlier. And he was like, can I come sit with you guys? And he kind of just pulled up a pew. And
sorry, was this... Wait, Finn was it? Sorry.
No, this guy's a random. This guy's a lone ranger.
Right.
And we were like, okay.
Yeah, weird thing to do, but...
There's not that many people in the pub. And...
Shocker.
We were kind of the only people around his age. He was like 21, 22. And we were with some younger fellas, so... And he comes up, and he was like, can I please sit down? We said yes. Immediately realize... okay, you are a straggler and you do not fit in with like the vibe of our conversation, but we will be more than welcoming. So it's the classic like, what do you do for a crust kind of thing. And he was one of those dudes that was not one-uppy, but just like, how cool's my shit that I'm doing? I don't really care about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And he just wanted us to sniff his farts for a while. And yeah. And he was like, yeah, I tried to go into the pub down the road and they fucking kicked me out because I had no shirt on. And I was like, yeah.
Makes sense. No shoes, no shirt.
Yeah, but they gave me this shirt though, and they had like a Mate's Bar shirt on. And I was like, you could go up a size because there was like a skivvy on him. And then...
What, did he try to go into like the beer spot or something?
No, he tried to go into Mate's Bar. And I was like, dude, if they're not letting you in, that's like the shithole of Kumu. No disrespect to Mate's Bar, but...
Well...
Yeah.
Was that's old Paddy's, yeah?
Yeah. And basically he was talking quickly, yeah. We were like, you don't want to be stink to someone, especially because he said he's like, I'm not around here. I'm not from around here. I'm from Pookie. I'm just want to have a beer. I'm just staying in Kumu for like a couple of weeks.
What's his story that he ended up in Kumu with no shirt on, trying to get into a pub?
I think the gist of it that I got was that he was a kid of divorced parents, and he was up visiting one of the parents that had moved to the area, and he was like, I'm just going to go out and grab a beer, and he's just had been drifting for the afternoon.
All right.
Jeans, gumboots, no shirt. And
on your fella.
Yeah, I can't stress enough. We were trying to be nice, and in no way was he a dick or anything, but the boys were just talking. He was like, look, I pretty much just I'm realizing now that I'm not getting on, because the boys were talking about how Drake's penis leaked online. Like he had a nude leak, and everyone was just kind of like, fuck, like, and he was like, oh, like, you know, Jesus, a lot of boys talking about dicks and everything, and I was like, just a passing comment, like, and he was like, we were talking about cricket, and he's like, nah, cricket's fucking gay. And I was like,
fuck.
Dude, first of all, check yourself. Second of all, cricket's cool. And I'm going next. Because I talk about how we're going on the weekend. And
I also just dislike people that, like, shit on other people's thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, if you don't like it, like, you don't have to, like, fully...
That's what
like
I thought. I was like, so what do you like then? And he's like, bro, I like watching chicks volleyball because you see asses on the TV. And I was like, oh, so you don't like sport? And he was just one of those dudes that was like, dude, I really need to like affirm I need to confirm that I am very butch. Like, I need to confirm that I'm a man and I like chicks and everything.
He's still in the closet.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that's a you thing, man. He's like, you ever when you're watching the volleyball, just go up there and sniff the TV?
What?
Yeah. And I was like, I made like a joke. I was like, oh, no, I don't have the smell-o-vision yet. And he was like,
Smells like static.
yeah, yeah. And he was like, oh. And I was like, no, I actually don't watch a lot of volleyball, eh? And then afterwards he was like, oh, well, I can see this well's dry. I'm going to go chase some tail. And I was like, good luck in the buff we're in.
Fucking hell.
And he came back like 2 seconds later and we were like, dude, we're out of here. Late.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then witnessed the domestic at the same time. So while this was going on, I was side-eyeing the domestic that I was telling you about, where this couple that was they were having beers, like just they were having like an afternoon lunch kind of beer kind of thing, and they start talking, and then they're like showing each other their phones or something, and the dude he's saying stuff. The vibe I got straight away was he's trying to explain something. And she was not looking at him. She was looking straight. So he's obviously put himself in a hole and he's trying to talk his way out of it.
Oh, no.
Or she has, like, confessed something and he's kind of like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? But he didn't seem angry enough for that to be the case. It seemed like he was in the wrong. And she's got the stare going, won't make eye contact with him. She's just sitting there drinking her pint kind of thing.
Are they alone?
Just them.
Okay.
Just them. So it's a couple's lunch.
Yeah, yeah.
And she gets up to, like, kind of leave or something. And at this point, there's tears. She's crying. He's, like, kind of crying or just, like, man-sobbing. And he's like, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me here.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, dude. And then the other dude's like, you ever sniffed a TV? And I was like...
Welcome to Kumu.
Yeah, and then I was just, I was sitting there like a chameleon, like Ringo, like both my eyes going east and west, and this dude, like, he ends up sobbing and walking out of the bar, and she was just like, she broke down, and I was like, oh, that spells the end, and she was on the phone to someone, and she was like, oh, can you just pick me up, and I need, like, it sounded like she was talking like a family member though, but she was like, I'm just going to come home tonight and everything, and that.
What a crazy time, like...
Dude, I have never had a full-on, like, public relationship freak out before, but...
Neither.
If I did, God, I hope someone watched and got entertained by it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I hope if I do it right.
Yeah.
Like, maybe go viral. Like, maybe one day... maybe
no
one
like
day,
abuse, though, but, like...
Yeah. Maybe
just your own freak out.
Like those people at the airport that... Like, I see it a lot at Florida airports. That
just
they get patted down. They're like, oh, what? You trying to touch my da-da-da? You trying to get your hands on my that? And so they just strip naked or something. And then they're like, and then they just end up having a full freak out and just get tackled.
Fuck. America.
Yeah, basically.
But that's crazy. Like, amount of times you go to the pub and it's like very like non-eventful.
Bro,
like,
it
great
was
time.
us, the domestic couple, the Lone Ranger, and 5 gold carders splitting some fish and chips, watching the horse races.
Oh, that is on. What?
Yeah.
But like that's what I mean. Like sometimes you'd go down, have a good time with the lads, but like that's all that happens. You go down, you hit a jackpot,
bro. Yeah, I went from nothing. So my eventful weekend, where I was like, oh, I've got heaps on this weekend to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going hiking. I'm going to go to Waiheke. That'll be fun. To just did the escape room. Saw a funny thing in the row shop. Or saw a dickhead in the row shop. Saw a couple of funny things in the pub.
Fuck.
There you go. That's what really happened.
I feel like
That's what it's like to be me.
I feel like when you break it down, it's like, oh, is that what?
Yeah.
But that's just good.
Yeah, you just got to be able to spin it.
I feel like a lot of this sort of shit like happens to me as well, but I just don't like recall it, or like the way that you view situations. You've already like got your own kind of like spin on it, like
Yeah.
because I'm sure like watching that domestic, you're like got like 1,000 different things that like they're saying to each other, and you're like, this is what he said and she said this, like.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, he's leaving. It just cracked me up when he was like, don't do this to me, not here. It just like through gritted teeth and tears, and then just like necked his beer and stormed out.
Like that was their special spot.
Yeah. You ruined table 6.
With an empty pub, like it wasn't really like public either. Like what?
Yeah, I know. It was odd, bro. It was odd. It's not the first time we've picked up a straggler though.
No,
We
it
have
is
picked-
not.
No, we yeah. What it reminded me of, and what I was talking to you about earlier when we were talking about it, was the straggler that we picked up. We would have been 20 years old. Crate day.
Yes, we would have been. Yeah.
Crate day that year. And we were doing it at my mum's house when I don't know where we lived at the time, but we went back because it was like everyone had flats that was like, we can't do it at my flat, we can't do it at my flat. We'll go up to the folks' farm kind of thing. We'll pick a secluded area. And we just did it out by the road.
So we chose the berm.
Yeah, we just went out by the road where there was like a tree. And this dude comes walking past. There's, for story's sake, there's like a flower nursery just down the road that a lot of visa workers come and work on. Like they just come and sort flower bulbs and that. And this guy walks past, and obviously we're merry. So we were
a
like,
couple deep.
yeah.
Well,
So we were like, hey, come over and everything. And he was like, this Dutch dude. And he was like, what? And we were like, just hop the fence and have a beer. And he was like, yeah, I'm Dutch. I'm here. I'm picking flowers. What up? And
I don't even think I recalled the whole flower thing until like now. I didn't even know that.
yeah.
I thought
Only
I
because
thought
I
it was
knew
just-
it because it was around the corner from me. And he's like, I live in that caravan. I was like, I see that caravan all the time.
In hindsight, I didn't even talk to him that much. I think I just shouted things at Dutch to him, like because it was the funniest thing, and you'll hear the rest of the story. But I had no idea about the flower thing. I thought it was just a hitchhiker, just in the back of Kumu.
Yeah.
Turned out to be Dutch.
Yeah. So he was overworking. And he ended up getting fucking hammered. And
Yeah.
you know when you think you're doing a great thing and then as it slowly pans out, you realize it's not as cool as you thought it was? So this
wasn't that.
Oh, this was that. Because he was
Nice
it was cool that we had found a friend and we had shown him a good time, and he was saying like, oh, this is one of the best days I've ever had and you guys are really fun and everything. Like we had a whole group there, so there would have been like, 15, 20 of us just having a bit of a time. And we had one of our best mates 21st that night, and we were like, of course you can come. But first of all, we've got a barbecue down at the family house.
Wait, hold on. We never even asked Joe.
Didn't we?
Nah. It was just like, you're coming with us. Mate, we are now bonded for life. You're like one of the boys.
Yeah.
Come get a feed, and then we're going to a 21st. How does that sound? It's just like,
Better than staring at the ceiling of my caravan.
yeah, little did he know like where the 21st was. He's probably thinking, yeah, party.
Yeah, it was also a rural residence.
Yeah, it was back at Taupaki.
Yeah. But we brought him in, and as he got drunker, he got more and more into Ryan being shirtless.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about
And
this.
then, so he was like, he kept being like, because we all went for a swim, and when Ryan was getting dressed again, sorry, Ryan, if I'm speaking out for you, but, and
But you're not here to defend yourself.
no, he's upstairs.
He's like right there.
Yeah. And I remember like Ryan went to put his shirt on. The dude was like, no, Ryan, you look better with your shirt off. And Ryan was kind of like, oh, haha. And Ryan went to put his shirt on, and he was like, eat the potato chip, Ryan, and was like feeding him chips. And I remember Ryan just being like, dude, this guy won't fucking like being polite about it, but in the end he was like, dude, I'm putting my shirt on and I'm not hungry anymore. And
Fuck, I'd forgotten all of this shit.
yeah, we ended up taking him to the 21st. I don't know where the fuck. We stayed the night, and I remember getting to the party with him.
I didn't stay the night.
Oh, maybe I didn't stay the night either, actually. But
No, yeah, you're right. We all got like different rides, right? Like different people dropped us off because there was quite a few of us for the crate day thing, and we went out to the back of Taupaki and to Joe's 21st. Great 21st though, like marquee, like but like real like Westy 21st, not like in a bar, like you know what I mean? Like it was real good. And we brought this guy along, didn't even tell Joe. But you're right. After leaving,
I remember turning up with him. I remember him at Crate Day. I remember saying like, "You're coming to this thing with us,"
Yeah.
and then poof, he's gone. He's gone from my memory.
I remember him at the 21st a little bit because we were like, Bevan was in absolute hysterics, like just laughing the whole time, like for like 6 hours straight. Just the fact that we brought a random Dutch hitchhiker to like our best mate's 21st. But yeah, obviously we left. I don't remember seeing him like later in the evening, or he didn't come home like with us. So I have no idea whatever happened to that dude.
Yeah.
Anyone like know in Holland? Like, is there a guy missing? Like,
There's no one's lived in that caravan for a long time. I know it's been like 10 years or whatever, but
wait, it's not been
8 years or something.
Oh, right.
I don't know. Yeah, my brother got picked up by Ocean Alley.
What?
He was walking in Raglan on the side of the road after a gig, and he had like a couple of a kilometre walk to like an Airbnb or something, and a van rolled up, and they were like, "Do you want to ride? Like, you're walking on the road." And he was like, yeah, that'd be sick. Actually, I'm going to this road. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're staying like kind of around there. We'll drop you off. And he jumped in and he was like, oh, fuck, you're Oceanality. And they were like, yeah, you want a beer?
Oh, shit. I mean, not my sort of band, but fuck, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking like.
Yeah, he was like, oh, what the
serendipitous.
H? Yeah, this is pretty sick.
Man.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't be afraid to pick someone up.
Yeah.
Actually, what the? Yeah. Don't be afraid to jump in a car.
I think, the just be careful.
If someone offers you a beer and a ride, just say yes.
We cannot endorse that.
Nah. Redacted. Yucks and yums.
Oh my god. Excuse me.
Andy, you got a yuck for me this week. My big bowler. My big bowler Miller.
I do.
Yes.
Scrolling Facebook, I think it was yesterday actually. Might have been on the weekend.
Yeah.
And I saw one of our beloved films is getting a sequel, which I'm not so happy about.
What is it?
So the film that's getting a sequel is Project X, right? Project X, I think, is like a cult film. Wasn't so like good at the time, like in terms of like filmmaking, but it's like one of those ones like
no, it was like a found footage film.
Yeah, like over the years is like, fuck, that was sick. And
yeah, but at the time, I think we've talked about it before, where like every party you went to at the time was called like Project X because it was like no one actually wanted their house to be trashed,
No, but we were of that age of like going to house parties as well,
Yeah.
so it kind of like resonated with us, like
yeah.
perfect target audience. And this might just be me getting older, but they're making a sequel, and I don't know how they're going to do it because like modern day shit, like I just don't see it going well.
It'll be like that Bad Neighbors sequel where it was like just not as good.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, and
that's
like
actually
that.
interesting that you say that though, because you know how they have the cameraman in Project X, his name's Dax Flame or something, and he was a popular YouTuber at the time that got a role in the movie,
right?
And he just plays himself. So he's been popping up on my like reels and TikTok and that literally over the last few days saying, I have nothing to do with Project X anymore. Stop asking me about it. And I was like, oh, maybe he just gets heaps of questions about the old one, but it must be something to do with like, have you signed on to do this or?
Well, and this, the other thing is it might be a hot take, but I will openly say that I'm over this, but they're casting an all-female lead roles.
That's not a shock. That's what I kind of meant by the Bad Neighbors sequel.
Yeah. Do I need to elaborate? It's just like...
Look, all I have to say about this stuff is using virtue signaling and inclusivity as currency is an expensive forum to trade on.
Facts. That's fucking cool. I like
that.
Yeah, it's like the amount of like films that in the last 4 or 5 years that have flopped just because
we need to do this.
Yeah, they're like, oh well, let's do an all female thing, and and we've talked about this like 100 times. It's no disrespect to females. Like a lot of my favorite movies or video game icon, like there's a lot of female there. And I think they do their own films great.
Just do your own one.
That's right.
Just do a standalone party film. The world is yearning for a party film. It'll go off, but you don't need to be like, we're doing it again.
Yeah, that's right. Like things like, was it Ocean's 8 and the Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Fucking Madam Web that's just come out.
Yeah.
massive flop.
Yep.
Anyway, that's a very touchy subject.
Yeah.
Moving on, but my Yuck Project X sequel. I hope it proves me wrong. I really do.
I mean, we live in nostalgia, so maybe watching a party film will just get us fucking hyped anyway. So, fingers crossed. My Yuck goes. So on the weekend was the NBA All-Star weekend.
True. I
First of all,
saw this coming up.
This whole thing's like a yuck for me.
Sorry, just before you go, I saw this coming up that it was advertised. Like I saw like one advertisement, and then like completely forgot about it. And then afterwards, it was like, this is the result. Usually, I see heaps of highlights and everything that come through my feed and everything.
Yeah,
nothing came up this year.
It's just, I'm going to specifically talk about the All-Star game itself. The whole weekend's kind of fallen to shit, right?
Wasn't it like 211 points or something?
Yeah. So, yeah, okay, the game itself is my yuck. That's meant to be the highlight, right? That's the best players all coming together. I'm not breaking ground saying that I can see it from both sides. The players don't care about the game because they say it has nothing to do with us winning a championship. Why would we put our bodies on the line to potentially get injured or something like that for something that is just an expedition? But then the other people say, look, the only reason that you guys get paid like you do is because of fans and tickets and what viewers and that, so you should put on a show. But
I like that.
well, that's what Kobe said about sitting out games. Like Kobe always said, why would I sit out a game or load manage, or why would I not try and play through something when there might be a kid out there that's saved for so long just to be able to get a ticket to an LA Lakers game to see me play? Like, you'd hate to do all of that. Like, he was big on that. And obviously injuries are going to happen and everything. You can't help that. But I just think at this point it's kind of bullshit. Like, they're clearly not trying. They're not playing any sort of defense. They've rejazzed the rules a few years ago. It made it interesting once, and then immediately the players were like, actually, we don't really care about the result, so it doesn't matter.
Because they did the whole East versus West again.
They've brought it back to East versus West.
Which, when I saw the teams, I thought, fuck yeah, that's pretty cool. Like,
yeah.
That, I don't know if it was East or West.
No, the West was insane this year.
It was stacked, but they ended up losing, so I was like, what?
Yeah, because there's guys from the East that just... There are people that specifically go out there. You can tell from as soon as the game starts that are like, I want to get MVP or I want a top score. So they start going hard. They play seriously. And I mean, it's cool because they do some cool shit. And it's nice to actually see someone play with intensity. But everyone else just has the vibe of like, oh, geez. It's like the guy that sprints in the warm-up at PE. And,
yeah.
But the whole thing was a bit of a yawn fest. I don't know what the fuck to do about the dunk contest. It just needs
no good either.
Most of the people that do it now aren't in the NBA. It's G League players or like professional like TikTok dunkers.
Right.
There's a guy like Jaylen Brown came and did it. He jumped over Kai Cenat, who was sitting on a chair. Yeah, and it's like, dude, you should be able to jump over a 5'4" guy sitting in a lawn chair. Like, that is expected of you as a player.
Yeah. I can see the difference, right? Because you want the best dunkers in the world for a spectacle.
Yeah.
But you also want to see the NBA players do it, like bring it down a level, like guys that don't just do like focus on their dunk, so they might not be as good, because then that gives more wow factor when they can like pull something off. And you're like, holy shit, he actually did that. Plus, it's got LeBron's face, or
that's the big thing. Like LeBron's never done a dunk contest.
It's like you see your idol in that contest as well. Like I think that's the better way to do it.
Yeah. So someone like, Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine, they're both easily the best.
That was the best dunk contest.
Yeah, so they are still in the NBA, and people are like, why don't they just do it every single year? But they're like, man, like, we did it. Do you know how hard it is to make up a dunk that hasn't been done before?
Yeah, that's another factor.
Yeah. There's just so much now. There's so much online of guys whose job it is. It's like the enhanced games. Like, there's guys who go out there and make their money by doing crazy dunks at home and videoing it.
Have one of the judges pull a dunk out of a hat, and like on the day you have to do this one.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah, true. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
What they do with baseball is whoever wins, so they split it into East and West. So you know how like the NBA baseball does the same sort of thing where they do an East and West conference, and then in the finals, whoever has the highest seeding, because it's 7 games, gets 4 games versus the 3. So in baseball, I believe whoever wins the All-Star game out of East or West, so if the East wins, then the team in the finals from the East gets the 4 games. Because obviously one of the better teams are going to have most of the All-Stars anyway.
Yeah.
So it makes you want to get that, because once you get to the finals, if you do, you're going to get home court advantage.
That's a perfect way to run it.
Yeah.
It seems like plausible. People like will actually play for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
And then like the skills challenge, it used to be like genuinely skillful. Like you had to throw a pass through like something that like a hole that was just bigger than the ball. Now the hole's like as big as a fucking garage door. And players were purposely taking the piss, just doing with their left hands and doing shots over their heads and everything. Like they don't care, so the crowd doesn't care.
That's right.
It's just an ad fest.
Can you imagine it with like other sports? Like, so like I'm going to use football as an example, of course, but you know, like it's a free kick contest, and they've just got like TikTok stars doing that. No one's going to fucking watch that.
No,
they want to see the best free kick takers in the world. Like on a All-Star weekend or whatever, taking some of the most insane free kicks. Like,
yeah, the 3-point contest has kind of held that because it doesn't take too much of like physical output. Yeah, so it is
the best guys do.
It is,
yeah.
And yeah. So that's it's kind of a formula you can't. It's just you've got this much time to shoot this many balls. Person with the most wins. You can't really screw that one up, and it's kind of kept its.
But is it like, because I don't know basketball too well, but like, say you won, like if you at the end of your career and you're like, yeah, I'm a 4-time dunk contest winner, obviously on top of how many rings or whatever, like does anyone like care about that, or is that like,
oh, it's cool,
is that also like a big extra flex?
It depends. Like, you could be someone like Vince Carter. Yeah, he had a great career and he played for a long time. He was just known as like an in-game dunker, and that was like his identity. Like when you talk about dunking, you talk about Vince Carter. But
wouldn't you want to like stack up the accolades? Like, yeah, look, I took Golden State to 3 championships, and I won this, like in this and this and that. Like,
kind of like
I'd use if everyone was going slow.
If you're really like splitting hairs, then yeah, you could maybe be like, well, he's got an extra dunk contest, but like it's the lowest of any sort of accolade, and like winning your division means more, kind of thing.
Totally, I understand.
On a team perspective,
totally, that's like any sport. But at the end of your career, and you've won all of the major trophies multiple times, like wouldn't you still want your accolades to be like a longer list? Like,
yeah, it is, because especially if you're like, you know, what basketball fans like to do most is compare to the past. That's all you can. That's all you can compare to. So when you're comparing dunking, or you're comparing like great players, you go to the Michael Jordans, the Kobes, and everything. They've all won a dunk contest.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, yums. I burnt mine earlier with the spider. Mine was going to be my spider that's growing outside my window.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have a yum for this week. I do. Okay, no, I'll give my yum will go to Alexander the Great Volkanovski.
True.
I know everyone that watched UFC, he obviously lost his belt, but I got a lot of respect for that man. The way that, like, how charismatic he is and holds himself, and has done for over 10 plus years in the UFC, I think, because he held the belt for like 8 or something. Just like the pre-fight stuff, like dressing as an old man and shit like that. I just think
he has antics.
It just shows like how cool he is. Like I'm not really doing it justice, but because it's kind of a yum on the fly.
It is a funny thing though, seeing that like humor from our part of the world up against the big bright lights of America, and it's just kind of like.
But then you get like the serious like Brazilians and they like
fight for the glory of God.
Yeah,
but then you get someone like Colby Covington or something, and Volkanovski's like, you're a knob.
Yeah,
like what the hell are you doing?
It's like, yeah, you're right. It's just seeing like our humor, even though he's Australian, but outside of the world, you know, like representing on the big stage and not taking his like shit too seriously. And yeah, I hope he bounces back.
Me too. Have a rest, bro.
Hard. That's what he needs.
If you listen to this.
Someone share it with him, please.
Yeah, man. All right. I'm going to go home. I'm going to have some more lamb and I'm going to eat some din-dins, and I'm going to get a sweet little rest, and I will see you for our big weekend, my friend.
Yeah.
And I will see you, turn to camera. I will see you guys next week.
Breakdown coming next week.
Breakdown coming next week.
Of the weekend.
Breakdancing coming next week. All right, guys. Peace.
Later.